winter biomes, Disney crossovers, new vehicles, and a new war rages on. Let's talk about Fortnite Season 7. Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. It's my favourite time of the Fortnite cycle, the hype week before the new season begins, piecing together the in-game hints and subtle changes, adding the files found by leakers, and interpreting the tweets sent out by Epic developers. Can we predict Season 7 content? Last season we did pretty damn well, predicting cowboy skins, zombies, a castle, the start of the war between the food companies, pets, bunkers opening up in Wailing Woods, and even the llama-headed character. So let's try it all over again for Season 7. You ready? Let's do this. We usually start with the story running through the loading screens, but Season 6 was different from the usual format. The Halloween theme basically showed us new skins in a variety of spooky fairy tale setups. As the weeks passed, the real event began when Kevin became powerful enough to summon the undead hordes. Once we defeated all those husks, we were given tranquility and even had a rave in the final week. Did I miss anything? Hang on, what the fridge magnet is that? Oh yeah, Aimbot. In week 8, he landed, complete with parachute, and used his heads-up display to look around. But hold on there, cowboy, look at the map. It's our first hint towards Season 7 content. The map is flipped as we are on the reverse to it, but that area there is Flush Factory, and look south of that, something is approaching. This is when jumping in game can help us identify more. The first thing to note is the parachute is truly here, but I want to come back to that, if I may, and break down that logo very soon. First, we need to find out what unidentified object is out in the sea. At first I thought it was Spawn Island, but then we all looked a little closer and saw the cloud of snow growing in the distance. This, coupled with the fact that Aimbot has frozen coverings on his hands and feet, got me thinking. Everyone pretty much believes the snow biome will be added for Season 7. After all, they attempted to put it in last year, but they couldn't get the world to operate how they wanted. But in PvP, in Save the World, we had entire areas dedicated to frozen farms and snow-covered rolling hills. We even had a troll frozen underwater. To add to all this, leakers have found footstep sound effects in the snow from the latest Battle Royale update. So we're pretty certain we are getting snow, but whereabouts will it hit the island? Some people believe the entire map will be covered, but I don't think so. I think we'll get a biome, a small portion. Using the direction of the snowstorm, it's likely the lower corner of the map will be covered. Could that snow cloud be an iceberg? Time will tell, I suppose. Snobby Shores could become Snowy Shores, or maybe Flush Factory could even become Santa's little workshop. No! Let's add to this. Remember a few seasons back when Valkyrie was introduced sitting on a throne? That completely gave away the inclusion of a castle in Season 6, which appeared next to Haunted Hills. In the same way, the new Deep Freeze bundle has confirmed Ice Mountains. I visited all the mountain ranges attempting to find this exact spot in the picture. The closest was actually Pencil Mountain. That was a Freudian slur. Yeah, but there are mountains everywhere. Which one do you think will change? My money is on the one above yonder yard. Anyway, let's move on from snow. There's so much more to get through than that. Back over to the parachute Aimbot left behind at Flush Factory. Let's break down the logo which is adorned upon it. This symbol, what do you see when you look at it? Well, it's jam-packed with references. First, the rhombus shapes around the edge. Hang on. Is that a rhombus or a trapezoid? Someone help me. Does anybody know their 2D shapes? Anyway, those shapes replicate the shutters of a camera. This is used in movies and TV to suggest someone is watching. It's part of the Big Brother effect. Heck, there's even a TV show called Big Brother, which is all about voyeuristic tendencies and controlling another person's environment. Anyone who wants to know more about this phenomenon, a great place to start is the movie 1984. And it's also happening in real life in the EU right now. Look up Article 13, if I suddenly vanish overnight. I know what you're thinking, get to the point, Adam. Well, the symbol inside is the globe, showing that we are indeed being watched. And to compound this, the inclusion of ice symbolises deep space. Putting all three elements together, we can surmise that we are being watched by an intergalactic satellite. Very interesting. Also note that Aimbot arrived via parachute instead of a glider or umbrella like we're used to. This links to space travel too, with the preferred method to bring shuttles back to Earth, cradled by a parachute. And the typical colours used for these parachutes? Red and white. Take Apollo 13 for instance. Alright, so there was a great deal of information to take in there, but the main theme I want to take from all of this is that we're being watched. Look at the loading screens featuring Aimbot. He's watching others in all of them. First he lands and uses his scouting advanced technology to survey the area. Next, he's watching the aftermath of Kevin the Cube at the old Loot Lake. And finally, he's at the end of season disco lurking in wait, ready for the call to action. I began looking into space robots, and one series of mechs linked to this theory perfectly. Have you seen the movie Elysium? It's a Matt Damon film. Matt Damon! In which inhabitants of Earth are left to suffer whilst the upper classes live on a space station, kind of like a satellite orbiting the Earth. These people are protected by a police force of robots. These buggers are combat robots, great with a weapon in hand, but share the same physical structure of a man. In the film, these robots can be sent down to Earth below to keep the peace, or take down powerful rebel causes. In the story Elysium is borrowed from, the robots from the satellite come down to Earth to take any technology they deem worthy, kind of like those portals and perma-rifts. Segue! Speaking of those portals, we've all had fun warping around the woods. Well, those leakers have found files which suggest there's more to perma-rifts than travelling a few hundred meters. This photo from Superstar Beta, nice name dude, could be a clickbait Photoshop stitch, or it could show us that perma-rifts can take us to another area completely, and maybe another dimension. Maybe alternative realities. We know it's possible in this game world thanks to the butterfly event. By the way, if you want to watch all the live events back to back, I have a video for your troubles. This image also suggests another castle coming to Battle Royale. Further leaks from a chap called Fort Tory back this up, with assets that do look legitimate. Another castle in Fortnite. I suppose that snow cloud could be an iceberg with a castle on top which smashes into the lower portion of the map. Okay, that sounds far-fetched, but I like it. In fact, when NASA tweeted about a perfectly flat piece of iceberg just doing its thing and floating around, Fortnite actually tweeted back and asked if it was Kevin. Food for thought indeed. Oh, another segue, food. Let's mix things up and revisit our prediction from last season. We prophesized the inclusion of a food fight due to the sudden change at Tomato Temple, and the inclusion of this image depicting a Der Burger employee joining the Pizza Pit side. Well, not only were we right, congratulations if you predicted that too, this story doesn't look like ending anytime soon. Over season 6, the Der Burger restaurant officially went out of business, and in a last gasp attempt to stay in business, they took their grub on the road. But in their way stood the Pizza Pit crew, who also lost their home and now take to the streets. The two companies have been fighting all season with their trucks moving around the map. As I'm writing this, they are currently at the drive-in cinema at Risky Reels. But where the heck will they go next? Maybe to the temple, maybe Lonely Lodge, or maybe to another spot we suggested last season, Wailing Woods. Do you remember the theory we looked into last season about a character who had been waiting to join the fight? He was a chicken enthusiast who left food around the map, most noticeably at Lonely Lodge. During season 6, on the day of Thanksgiving, he appeared in the game, the Tender Defender. If leaks are to be trusted, he will join the food fight with his own company, and those two-way battles will become a three-way sausage fest. They don't make sausages, do they? That joke could have been good, but the sausage restaurant is in Save the World. Damn it, I'll try again next season. The food fight theory also included an ever-growing theme park to be added to the map. It looked impossible a few seasons back, but look how far we've come. A food fight limited time game mode, and even the eventual inclusion of that chicken shop owner. By the way, how good is this glider? Best waste of money ever! To once again set the foundations of this theory in proven fact, recently those lovely leakers found a hamburger file which made a strange sound. When processed using a spectrogram, the image found on Aimbot's armour is uncovered. Could both of these theories line up? Let's change focus again. Recently, Epic employees have tweeted about looking into new ways to travel and traverse around the map, but they always said in Battle Royale rather than in Fortnite. Could this suggest that the hoverboard from Save the World could be coming over to Battle Royale? Those things are so damn cool, and if you love Back to the Future, you will love these hoverboards. Of course, with a new snow biome likely, we could see snow-themed traversal instead, such as a snowboard maybe? I'm calling it now skiing minigame. Nah, maybe not. So, I'm sure by now you've seen the Wreck-It Ralph Easter egg in Risky Reels. Well, this actually links into so much more Fortnite history, so let's uncover it. Back in Season 4, there was a skin themed around Candy, Zoe. She had a glider and a pickaxe straight out of a movie, and you've guessed it, it was Wreck-It Ralph. She uses the identical colour scheme to Candlehead. Back in present day, the free emote Hot Marat is straight from Wreck-It Ralph 2. And a tiny Fortnite cameo where Ralph is trying to do the Fortnite emotes. He's on screen for like 2 seconds at most. It looks like Disney and Fortnite have been working towards this crossover for a while. Remember Thanos? Yeah, he's a Disney property, so the relationship is already in place. And there's more. If you didn't know, I used to be a teacher, which included art fundamentals. Well, I couldn't help but notice all the pets included in Season 6 aren't drawn in the typical Fortnite style. They instead use Disney design techniques, hence why they look so familiar instantly. It's basically a timeless drawing style. When we put all these elements together, we can safely say many Disney crossovers are planned, as Fortnite continues to welcome new gamers daily. I think there's 200 million of us now. Think back to Thanos. How easy would it be to reskin him as Ralph? In fact, what about a candy biome like in Sugar Rush? I'm getting sidetracked again, aren't I? Let's finish with a few smaller indicators we should watch out for over the season. Did you notice the awesome buff to the pickaxe? 5 hits and your foe is gone. This is highly likely test work for upcoming melee weapons, which are hella fun to use in PvE, Save the World. I don't have anything else to base that on, so I'm not going to dwell, let's move on. But speaking of Save the World mechanics, new characters have been added to the game mode, which aren't playable at the moment, but I can definitely see these transitioning into Battle Royale, only for us Save the World OGs. Also, remember Twitch Prime skins? They were so good and helped streamers no end. Looking at the figures behind Twitch subscribers, it's highly likely Twitch Pack 3 will return in Season 7. Most people's subscriptions lapse in January or February, so maybe, just maybe at the moment, another Twitch Prime incentive will appear in the first half of 2019. Right, I've prattled on enough, but I want your help with something. What on earth are the Enforcers here for? What do they do in the story? After the Visitor crash landed in Season 4, and this season's Aimbot having an obvious upcoming role in Fortnite, there's a huge question about what the heck the Enforcers were here for. Hopefully, we'll find out in Season 7. Do me a favour and tell me your theories below. Alright, you've had enough of me, but please think about using my code Adamaru when buying things in Fortnite. It really helps me make more in-depth Fortnite videos rather than too much clickbait, like of the people I won't mention. Anyway, I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you next time.